Plaintiff, Jamie Johnson, says the defendant is a sister, and they were really close until 8 years ago when the defendant lied to the police, claiming Jamie assaulted her when she was pregnant. Jamie suing because he put the defendant's car in his name, and she got several tickets and a boot, which she has refused to pay. Defendant Yolanda Johnson says she loves her brother and says he has so much potential, but he chooses to be a hustler. Yolanda insists Jamie never showed her proof of the tickets, and therefore she refuses to pay.
Start with you.
Well, me and my sister, we used to be very close. We was always life to the party. Like she daytime, I'm night, We always had somewhat of a good relationship, like I love her kids, my niece at the time. But up until about 8 years ago, me and her haven't been like the closest of siblings, really nothing to do with her at all.
For the last 8 years?
Yes.
Why?
Well, 8 years ago, she came into my residence and she was demanding my food stamp card. And what it was that I wouldn't give it to her. So she called the police on me. She, at the time she was 7 months pregnant. She got on the phone, calling the police, talking about I'm trying to hurt her in some type of way and do everything to her, and that caused the police to come over. So I'm standing there like she ain't never just do this. Like it was probably a joke or something, the way it seemed. But then when the police actually, and I'm like, who is it? CPD, and they come in, they ain't trying to hear nothing I'm saying because they listening to what she has said, and so now they trying to, arrest me and all that. I'm like, hold on, wait, y'all ain't trying to hit nothing, get your hands up off me and stuff. So now we got into a little incident, but then I had to grab my little niece at the time. Thank God she was able to talk. She was around 4 or 5 years old at the time, to put between me and the police because they was going for their guns. And so I had to put them in between. I had to put her in between us to let them know that I didn't touch her, and she told them that.
You use your niece as a shield so that if anybody was going to get shot, it was going to be the niece. What else?
Right. Smart.
What else you want me to know? You hadn't worked for a while or something?
I was unemployed at that particular time just for a little bit. Other than that, I usually keep a job, sir.
Okay, good. Just want to clarify the food stamps. A lot of folks looking and saying, what are he doing on food stamps? But if it was a temporary situation in between jobs, that's understandable.
And then, it was me and my mother on that particular card at the time.
Got it.
Yeah.
All right. Want to just give you an opportunity to explain that. A lot of folks want to know. A lot of them, he ain't no good. See that? They don't want to pay the bills, don't want to go to work on food stamps.
Always kept me a good job, though. I got to admit that.
Defendant Yolanda Johnson is being sued by her brother, who claims 8 years ago Yolanda called the police and falsely accused the plaintiff of assaulting her when she was pregnant.
You give me some background, young lady.
I do love my brother. Despite all of what we have been currently going through over the years, I still kind of be the icebreaker. Our biggest problem has been and has continued to be I'm always the most verbal out of all of my mom's children. I'm the blocker for Bull when it comes to my mom. She's elderly. He does live with her, so I don't allow certain things from the street in her home, and that's where we bump heads at.
Street guy, he's a street guy?
He's a street guy. I mean, I don't knock him. He's a hustler. Jamie has so much potential that it is not even funny. He knows that. He's very smart with it.
How much has he worked in since
From what
high school?
I can recall, here and there. And most of the jobs that he's had, one I can recall, he blamed me for him losing it because he was already red flagged and he had called me.
You a street guy staying with your mom?
Not anymore, sir.
Since when? Last night?
No.
Yeah,
Did you get a skill
sir,
after high school?
Huh?
Did you get a skill after high school?
Somewhat. I went
like what? What is it?
I went to college and everything, but okay. I didn't graduate and all, because of, certain things that hindered me from that.
All right.
And also as well, I've always kept a nice job. It's just recently I'm unemployed right now because of some physical medical problems that I'm having.
Tell me about living with your mother, the time frame that you lived with your mother in the last 8 years.
In the last 8 years?
8.
All 8?
No. For one, I just got out of a relationship last year that I was in for like 4 years.
You all stayed together?
No. Yeah, me and her. Yeah, me and my
Good enough. I'm gonna give you a break here. But
Right, I ain't been
she's
with my
making you
mother
look a
all
little
age.
bad.
Trying to badger him?
She
No,
sounds
not
like
about
she's
that.
trying to
I love
make
my
you
brother.
sound like a hustler who stays with his mother. And by the way, ma'am, by virtue of him being a hustler, he should have his own money to stay in his own place, unless he's a poor hustler. You're not a poor hustler, are you?
When I was hustling, no, I wasn't
You
poor.
was all right, good.
Right.
See?
And I don't mean hustling as far as streets. What I mean by
Whatever.
that is,
Oh, okay. You said streets.
I apologize. Let me clarify that. Outside of the streets, his hustling
Good
he has
enough.
a hustle mentality.
I'm glad you
can
said
do what
he
he
wasn't a
wants.
street hustler.
You
That's
know?
because that's a whole different thing.
It's
You
a
all
whole
got to be
different
careful
thing.
how you speak.
That's right.
Folks say them Johnson kids was on TV. I didn't know
Right.
the boy was a dope dealer. I ain't never heard that about him.
Wait,
and then
right.
she such and such and such. See, that's how gossip gets started. Explain yourself. So I don't have to clean up your mess.
No. We have,
How does she owe you this $3,000?
Well, back in 2004, her, and my older sister, she was going to get a car. She went and got a Ford Crown Victoria, and I put it in my name for her because it was, I forgot exactly the reason why she needed it, but I put it in my name for her. Then she ran up all type of tickets in my name. You know, running red lights, parking, crosswalk, everything. She just got so many tickets in my name. I chased her for years and years up until, like I say, 2008 when I quit talking to her because of the police thing that she did with me.
Why didn't you sue her then?
Well, because of the lies that she was, relaying to me, over the years,
What
it
do
felt
you
like
have
she
to
was
say,
going to pay
young
for
lady?
them.
No, back in what he's speaking of, I went to purchase a car. At the time, I couldn't drive the car off the lot without a license. Jamie happened to be with me and my sister, so I asked him to put the car in his name to get it off of the lot. In doing so, I probably really didn't even have the car that long. I found out that he had already had tickets standing. So once my registration went, my car registration went under him, everything swapped over from car to car. The tickets that I believe he's speaking of would be posts after this situation, like from the tickets from the car getting booted, sitting on the city street, you only get like 42, 78
The tickets
hours.
he's attributing to you, did you receive them ever or become
No.
aware of them?
No, he
You
was just
never became
hearsay.
aware of any of these tickets,
It was
of not
here.
one ticket.
No, up until the end. When I got a position back in 2005 that I could recall, that's when Jamie came to me and say, oh yeah, now that you got a job, you can pay these tickets. That's
All
how
right.
it was presented to
And
me.
did you look to find out whether you had,
I was
whether
never
you
given physical, visual evidence.
did you find
No,
out
it was
at all?
verbal. No, when I went to find out about what was going on with the cars, we were already at the point of being booted.
Okay.
That's how I found out about the registration, about the switch, about how I couldn't do anything. I went to Jamie with funds and told him, come on, let's go get this boot off the car. We was booted at this point. I said, come on, let's get the boot off the car. Jamie wanted the money in his hand to do what he wanted to do in the street.
So you
I
don't admit
refused
to any of the tickets?
No, these tickets that he's speaking about happened after the boot.
You accumulated them?
That's what he's saying. I
And
was
you
never
say
given
no?
any evidence. Everything I know about
You
tickets
say
is
no?
verbal. No.
Defendant Yolanda Johnson is being sued by her brother, who claims 8 years ago Yolanda called the police and falsely accused the plaintiff of assaulting her when she was pregnant.
Let me see what evidence you have.
Right
Did
here.
she affirm anything recently, and how do I know these are hers?
The highlighted tickets that I have highlighted is around her address. And
Around her address. She's going to tell me you used to visit her, sir. She's going to say,
And
we were
drive the
so
vehicle
close,
also.
Your Honor.
We were
As
sharing
you
the car.
just heard him say, we were close. That was probably when he came over to visit, or one of the other relatives was using the car. She's not admitting to it. You have any other evidence, sir?
Also, I have a letter from my friend that knew, that's a witness to her having that car as well, and that where she stayed at the
She
time.
admits to having the car, don't she?
Yeah, he got it from
And then
me.
where she stayed at the time, because on the tickets it shows like the address and some of the places where
Right,
she been.
because you didn't
we
have
both parked.
you didn't have the car 100% of the time, did you?
I pretty much, but he will use it too.
Hold on. He would what?
He will utilize the car also.
How often?
Just calling me, hey, can I use your car?
Can you
I do
estimate
this? Can
how
I do
often that might be?
Within a 7-day time frame, maybe twice.
All right,
You know,
and that
not a
still
lot.
goes on?
I'm sorry.
That still occurs?
No. No.
Oh, he has his own car.
This situation has totally separated us.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. This is the only evidence you have?
Oh, also I had a text message of her admitting it, but she like, I'm not gonna pay.
You have it? Let's
Yeah,
see it.
I
Ma'am, didn't you
have
do
the
that?
original phone
I don't
actually.
know what he's talking about.
Okay, you don't know what he's talking
The
about.
only thing I
He's
could
about
admit
show
to
me.
is when he told me about once the cars get it booted, and I admitted to that as far as, yeah, we got boot tickets because of you. If he would have came with me down to produce that he was the registered owner of the car for us to get the boots
Jamie,
off, we wouldn't even be
back
here.
then I tried to pay the tickets and get the boot removed. Pay tickets.
Right.
Right. You don't pay tickets that you don't owe. And this was in 2016. You reaffirmed the debt because she agreed in 2016 that she still owed the debt. Judgment for the plaintiff, $3,138. I wouldn't been bothered with you either. Have a good day. Judgment for the plaintiff.
He only did that because I just got a new job, so he's trying to come up. That's all. Now maybe you could let your grudges go and live,
No,
because
I
you've
still-
been letting this hinder you forever. You only was trying to come up because I just got a good job.
Still ain't nobody to me.
Whatever.
One,
That's good.
You
But
act
who
like
you
couldn't
hurting?
listen
You're
to
not hurting me. You hurting
I ain't hurting
yourself.
nobody.
You hindering
I feel good
yourself.
to be away from you.
That's good.
would
That's
never
all
be
good.
close again.
Who you hurting though?
Nobody.
You're not hurting me. Life goes
Nobody.
on, sweetie.
Yes,
Only reason why I
exactly.
admitted to that text, and you know why? Because of our mother. That was to break that situation,
Yeah.
to calm you down,
You wasn't
and to get
expecting
you out of her
this to
house.
happen to come
Take
here,
that
but
$3,000
I
and
talked
find you
to
somewhere to
I
stay
talked
after
to
today,
to
because
the
you know you
text
can't
so I
come back
can
to her
have it-
house.
Have proof
Sweetie,
of
I'm
it.
not gonna indulge in your
How come you
ignorance.
ain't just pay it back then?
Because I didn't owe you. You know what we said and
you
what we
just
talked
said on
about.
text you
I told
owe me. You
right.
tried to pay.
How did you get me to trip up and send that text though?
How?
Talk about that.
Oh, I tricked you.
James,
oh, I
please.
tricked you.